Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 5 of PGIM India Mutual Fund presents Live Mint, Amend, Adjust, and Adapt. That's, of course, a series of high-power panels that we've been doing, looking at the world after the coronavirus. I'm Vikram Chandra, founder of Heritage, and today we're going to be taking a look at India among emerging markets. How does India attract more investment, attract more attention from across the emerging markets, and is India really an attractive investment destination after coronavirus? So, Mark, it's a pleasure to have you with us. As I began by saying, you've obviously been keeping an eye on India for a fairly long period of time, long before India really became the flavor of the season. When you're looking at India today, and I'm going to ask you about the rest of the world as well, and how you think the world is shaping up after coronavirus. But any specific thoughts on India at the present moment in 2020? How is it looking to you as an investment destination?
Well, as you know, I've been very bullish on India for quite some time now. We started investing, almost 20 years ago, and I'm still very bullish on India, particularly now, because I believe the Indian market is really outstanding and is moving up at a very nice pace. The interesting thing is that in our portfolio, we have two funds. One is an investment trust, and the other is a Luxembourg fund. India now is the biggest country in those portfolios. So it gives you some idea of what we think about India. And of course, the performance of the Indian stocks have done very, very well in our portfolio. So we're very happy with what's happening.
When you talk to investors and when you talk to industrialists wanting to look at India, quite often and this is not a new grouse, has been their grouse for all time to come, is red tape and bureaucracy. Now, efforts have been taken, obviously, to reduce some of that red tape and bureaucracy. But there's still quibbles about, is there too much complexity around the tax system? And could you have a situation where overnight, telecom licenses are cancelled or coal licenses are cancelled? Is that something that worries you and other investors you speak to, or is it less now?
It worries us, but I would say it's better described as just an annoyance. It doesn't change our overall view of what we think of India and how we're going to invest. But it's true. It would be nice if some of these things could be simplified and made more efficient.
What in particular would be some of the areas that would give you a lot more comfort? I mean, look, you're already overweight in India, but what would give you more comfort to tell everyone this is perhaps the most exciting investment story on the planet right now?
Well, the first thing would be reform of the tax system. For us, for example, we're subject to capital gains tax, which makes it very, very complicated to calculate this. Gains, losses, back and forth. When you're running multiple funds and you're in and out of the market, capital gains tax calculation becomes much too onerous and expensive. So I would say that's the first thing that has to be changed. Then I would say overall the movement of capital in and out of the country has to be simplified. So it's easier to come in and also get out.
Right. So, before I come to the rest of the world, you've said that India has become like one of the largest holdings in your portfolio. What would be essentially the themes? Is that the case, first of all, and do you see that continuing? And what would be the major factors you'll be betting on if you are taking a strong position on India?
Well, there are three areas that we are particularly interested in. Obviously, software is one, particularly companies that serve the local market in software of various kinds. The next is healthcare, but not in a generalized sense, not pharmaceuticals, not hospitals, but more involved in the ancillary services, whether it be testing or supply of various types of implants, that sort of thing. And the third area is infrastructure. That is companies that are supplying cables, pipes, whatever is needed for infrastructure spending. So those would be the three areas that are particularly interesting to us.